toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports.
A short kick taken at the 18. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
It didn't take long to see our first penalty of the game, did it?
We always talk about everyone wanting to get into the game in a hurry. The officials did as well.
Up the middle, here's Walker. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down on their first offensive play.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Back to Walker on first down. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. Credit the tackle to Darius Slay.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. McLean. And that's incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
Off the play fake. McLean going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. This is fielded at the 7. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. The drive starts with a carry by Sermon. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Hurts to throw. Going deep here for Watkins. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Let's go, let's go, let's go!
Throwing is Hurts. He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take it, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started on the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offensive coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Kaiser White, the former safety, gets the sack. Well, it was 2nd long, now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throw out wide to Walker. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Kenneth Walker, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Hurts sets up to throw it. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Seahawks have picked it up.
The start of this game has me doing flashbacks and remembering when I was playing and seeing a similar start and seeing the head coach actually take a timeout and gather the whole team around him and tell them everybody to get it together. Let's get some focus going here, because maybe he just sensed that maybe the whole team wasn't ready to play.
Yeah, well, they've gone interception, now fumble. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Back to throw. McClain. The catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. On second down, it's Walker. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There was absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Looking to throw. McClain. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Josh Sweat rushing in and bringing him down to the ground.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense. 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will. They had a chance here to really build a nice early lead, go up a couple of scores. but he doesn't hit that one quite right, and it winds up an empty possession.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they are back down to the 500 mark after 2 straight losses. And, Charles, this is a team that, to be frank, their play has really dropped off. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And the Seahawks are going to get it back here just past the 35. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game. The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else, ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And forcing completion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
To throw on third down. McClain. He completes this to Walker. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Walker now on 1st and 10. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. 50 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Week 7 action, and we've got a 7-point game here in the second quarter. And this offense hoping to change that right here. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10?
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Ken Walker, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Seahawks have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. And this is no good. Missed the PAT, so they fail to connect, and this remains a 13-0 game. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. Very short kick taken right at the 20. And a nifty return there all the way across the 40.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
The Eagles at 500, 3-3 through the season's first 6 weeks. They come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
On 2nd down, another shot for Sermon.
And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
The kick by Elliott is good. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason.
They'll run with Walker to begin the drive.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
82 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Javon Hargrave there on the stop.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Again, it's Walker.
After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. And now a low liner. I think he mishit him. Just 21 yards on the punt there. And the Eagles will have it, taking over a 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now a pass pass hauled in downfield. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 36 yards on the play. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Running left is Sermon. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. His 8th rushing touchdown, his 12th overall. And the Eagles get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Elliott good on the extra point. And the lead down to 3 at 13-10. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation.
He tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result.
On 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
We know he has a lot of confidence in his arm and likes to force it downfield, but the coverage was tight there. Fortunate it wasn't picked off.
Here we go.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
Hurts.
Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all, and you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
From the gun, it's Hurts.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
All in all, pretty manageable deficit, Charles, here as they start this 3rd quarter offensively when you consider the fact that in the first 2 quarters, they had 2 costly turnovers.
I think you laid it out there perfectly, partner. Very tough to hold a lead going into the break if you continue to hand it over on multiple drives.
Yeah, and obviously, Charles, it would be very tough to climb back into the game if those turnovers continue.
I would say borderline impossible. You keep turning it over, I don't know how you make up a deficit.
And he's going to take this one down inside the 45.
86 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On 2nd down, it's Sermon. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle 1st down.
Boy, what would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, He seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
60, 60. Big Lion.
Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and 12 on the Seahawks 30-yard line.
30-yard line, 2nd and 12.
60 vices, 60 vices.
Up the middle, here's Sermon.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
This is caught. Touchdown, Eagles.
Quez Watkins, 29 yards. And the Eagles have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter.
So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss.
A short kick taken at the 18.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, 1-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side trying to match each other.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
From the gun on 3rd down. McClain going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And it's intercepted.
And the Eagles are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking
that his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Quandre Diggs.
And the Seahawks will take over possession here up at the 44.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44.
Here's Walker to start the drive.
Nifty move. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
And a decent little gain puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher, 3rd and 6.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
On 3rd down, McClain. And Walker has it. Oh, what a move. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play.
That turned into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right. And after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
And he's able to skip away from that first defender on his way to a pickup of 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure you're back. You spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Catch is made by Metcalf. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. DK Metcalf, 26 yards.
And the Seahawks have retaken a third-quarter lead. Charles, that's a pretty good response from a rookie quarterback. He's had his struggles in this game, including the interception on the last drive, but there he takes him down the field and puts it in the end zone.
I agree with everything you just said right there. And there's a silver lining to all of this, his resiliency. Because let's face it, when things are going bad and you're a youngster, they often continue to go bad. But in his mind and his actions, he said this stops right here. And how about the positive play he just turned in?
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 26 and a first down.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in a defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is...
Okay,
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Again, it's Sermon.
And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And everybody thinking about the possible field goal on 4th. It would be 58 yards from here.
Hey, smash Bronco! Check, Bobcat! Check, Bobcat!
And they'll try and run for the first with Sermon.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts.
Steps away. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 21 yards there. A big play on 4th down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage. So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The Eagles on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. And this is caught by Watkins.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So a big kick coming now for Jake Elliott. From the left hash, just a 32-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. Maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer when it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space as you said, for the curl in.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this fourth quarter. 114 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Sticking with Walker on second down. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
On 3rd and 2, McClain. And that is incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. Yeah, that'll cross midfield here, not by much. Out of bounds just on the other side of the 50. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They run once more with Sermon. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Here we go.
A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down.
60 Eagles.
A give for Sermon running right. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. And now defensively they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This for the lead in the final stages. And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th. What a tough spot to miss a kick. Just an absolute letdown.
Look, they got themselves in the field goal range, gave them a chance to take the lead. They come up empty, and now you wonder, will their offense ever see the football again?
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Well, we've talked about it before. You know, this jet sweep, something a lot of teams like to run nowadays, and this one winds up in the end zone.
And it is all about creating different ways to get the ball in the hands of your playmakers. And wasn't it interesting that prior to this game, the head coach told us, I saw this sitting in my chair watching a Tuesday night college game and decided to implement it myself.
And not much on this one. Takes it from the 21. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. ready at the line. This Philly offense set to go. They'll throw on first down with Hurts. They set up the screen for Sermon. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. They'll look to throw here.
They'll set up the screen for Sermon.
They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's second down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Second and 8. Straight ahead, it's Sermon.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down. He's back to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. And they were hoping to get down there, get the score, and get this thing into overtime. How deflating.
Absolutely. I mean, let's face it, heartbreaking. They had an opportunity, had a chance, and probably were feeling pretty good about what was going on, and that was taken away from them by their own mistake.
Yeah, the opportunity squashed.
I think as a running back in this spot, you have to understand there's not going to be a whole lot of room to run. And in this case, ball protection takes precedent over trying to make something happen.
Sticking with Walker on second down.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game.
Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Call it a gain of 11 yards, and that should just about do it. That one looks like he'll throw here. He finds his man, complete. That's Walker. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Slot man moves right.
A give for Walker running right.
And he stopped immediately there. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on third down.
Now to the ground. Here's Walker.
And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. It's a 6-yard pickup. It's still a few chain links short, it appears, with 4th down coming up. So the victory here for Seattle. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate when